What's going on, traders? It's Mighty Boy back at you again with another trading recap video. Now, today's trading session was a little bit slow, but I also made a lot of questionable mistakes. I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to see that in a minute in the live trading session. But also from today's trading session, there was some really good lessons, and I'll learn a lot from it, and I hope you guys will be able to learn a little bit from it as well. It's got to do with fake holds, when to add, and when to take off. Now, as you guys can see, today I am up $831. If I didn't make that very stupid mistake, I would have been up. You know, my daily goal usually is 1,000 plus, and I would have been up 1,000 plus if I didn't make that mistake. But there's nothing you can do about it. You come on a day, you take what the market gives you, you walk away, you come back the next day, clean slate, right? Whether you win or lose on the day, it won't matter. Tomorrow, reset, fresh, you start again. So let's just go right ahead and get to the trades, what I traded today. First one that I traded was TGC. Now, TGC, what happened was market opened pre-market. I mean, this thing went pretty much, it was like 40 cents all the way to 380. So it was the highest gapper of the day. It went up, as you guys can see here, it went up and it pulled back down. It set in like a pre-market low support level. You guys can see how it's supported here. I mean, it supported many times here before it went up. So just before the open, it pulled back down, and I bought this area using this as a risk. So if this was going to go wash out, I would have cut it because I'm buying it right at the support level, right at the very close to my risk level. And I was hoping for a rip up to the highs. What ended up happening was I sold too quick because out of the gate, it wasn't pushing. It was very indecisive. It wasn't really going up. It wasn't going down. It was really indecisive. There was a fight. So because of that reason, I got out quick. As you guys can see, just bought in, 300 shares just before, a minute before market open, and I added just as market open, and I sold into a pop for, I don't know, $79 or something like that. And it went up, and right here rejected. I was trying to short that, and I was trying to short that as well. So I was trying to short that, but there was no locates, and that's the problem with the broker that I'm in, TradeZero. It's pretty crowded. There's a lot of people. You cannot find shorts, and by the time you find shorts, it's either really expensive or their shorts are not available. So I was trying to short it, couldn't find short, and it smacked back down into a hold. It based around here. I was actually planning to buy it here because support level, but I was trading something else. I didn't see it, and this thing spiked. By the time I saw it here, it was really questionable to buy it here because it could have, washed out, and as it did here, I would have gone chicken out into this. But this one popped up. I got into it. It was meant to go into a hold, got pop out of the hold, and go higher. That was the plan. But they weren't letting it hold. Every time it goes into a hold where you would see a lot of push comes up to it, what they do is they dump. Now, the way it works is this, right? So what they do is they buy all of this. So when the stock was naturally meant to fall down and wash out in this low volume, right? No volume means, if you compare it to this, it's supply and demand, less supply, right? I mean, less supply. So supply and demand is out of balance, right? So technically it should just fall off, but what they were doing was they were holding it up. They were buying it up, right? So they wouldn't let it go higher. They wouldn't let it drop as well. As you can see, this weak action, weeks from both ends, them just supporting it. And then they brought it up. Now, short sellers are in this. As they're picking this up, short sellers are going all over into this, risking the high, right? And usually what happens is short sellers would have a stop here, which means short sellers, once it hits this level, it breaks the high, this is where the stop loss is, this is where they cut it, right? So if you're short, as you cut it, you'll be a buyer, right? So you'll be a buyer. Short sellers will be a buyer, every short seller into this. And also this bring in new buyers because now it's going over the pre-market high. It just broke that resistance level. A lot of buyers would come into this. Now, two things combined, right? Short sellers covering, one, and new buyers coming in, two things, right? And as you guys can see, this is 2.5 million shares per minute, right? Into this too. I mean, more than that, almost like 3 mil per minute in 1 minute, right? But it wasn't going anywhere. I mean, it was the highest minute, volume candle right there, but the price wasn't going anywhere. The reason why that is, so the people who's got people who wanted to manipulate this stock, what they do is they buy up when it should fall. They buy up, so they keep buying and buying and buying and buying. By the time the price gets here, they have already accumulated a couple of million shares, right? That is to prevent this from going down. And what they do is on purpose, they push it above the high, knowing that the short sellers would cover and also new buyers would come in. So now what they do is all of these shares that accumulated into this buying, prompting this up, they sell into the short sellers cover and the new buyers. That's how they get out of the position. So they buy all of this up and they dump it into this to short sellers cover and new buyers coming in. That's how they, once they're done with it, once they unloaded their shares, look at that, just fall apart. So they were supporting it once they're out. That was the agenda from the get-go, right? Once they're out, the stock low volume again, similar. Look at that. The volume is exactly similar to that. Naturally, would just fall, right? Now the only problem was there was no shorts available. There was no shorts available here. There was no shorts available here. There was no shorts available here. The reason was because short sellers were already in, right? Short sale. Now, when I was trying to locate it here, the locates were very cheap. Shorts are available, right? So that's one lesson. So that's how I traded it there. Took it into a profit. I think I lost about 36 bucks into that. I bought it for a bounce, but it didn't bounce. I got it quick because that's where my risk level is. And then I bought here as well. I didn't, it was all long positions. I bought it here as well. I didn't like the way it was holding up, and I quickly got out for like I think it would have been, it's not that one. I think I made like 12 bucks right there. I made about $12 or something like that on that. It was a green trade. But what really helped me get out this is how when it was going into the hold, they weren't letting it hold. All right. So that was that. The next trade is, I took a lot of just, whatever trades. BRN. I took a lot of like whatever trades for, here and there. So I bought this and I got out quick because I didn't like how it wasn't really pushing. I was anticipating it would push above the VWAP, but it didn't. So I got out for like $18. WWE0 JKS. Now JKS into this. Let's happen. This is the elephant in the room, JKS. Now what happened with JKS is I kept going back. So on Friday, I told myself I'm never gonna touch this. The day before, I told myself, even yesterday, I was like, I'm not gonna touch this. On Monday, I'm not gonna touch this. Today comes. It actually was the first red day today. It went to $90. I was hoping it would touch 100 and I'll short it, but it went to $90, about $91, and right now it's at $67. So a massive red day. This is what I was waiting for the whole time I was trading it previously. This is the move that I was looking for. And the funny part is I was getting burnt in the past days that I tried to trade it because this thing was, if you look at daily chart, this thing was going non-stop. It was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So this is what I wanted. But, once I was, exhausted myself and I said I'm not going to trade it, it washed. Anyway, that's fine. So in that trade, in this trade, I made a quick $159 on it. But it's a huge mistake because you have to listen to yourself. Yeah, you put in rules for a reason, right? So if you say I'm not going to trade this or I'm not going to short this, I'm not going to use this strategy anymore, you have to really respect it, right? There's a reason why you're implementing that rule in the first place. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of, in the chat rooms where a lot of people were telling me, even this morning, just as I got to the market, people are like, Matt, don't touch JKS. What did I do? I go and touch JKS. It's, I don't know. I really don't understand it. But it's only been this stock. Any other stock, I'm pretty disciplined. If I say I'm not going to use that strategy, I won't. But this thing is just, I think I knew this was coming. A massive FOMO. This gives 20 bucks. If you go on, 100 shares alone, that's what, $2,000 with 100 shares. Usually I go 3 or 600 shares on this. So you can imagine how much that could have been, right? But that's fine. It's out of the way now. I think after today, I'm definitely not going to touch it. That's what I said last time. The next one was TRV. This one here, I shorted there. It was a pop. I was looking at this level. I wanted to add if it pushed to the 8, but I shorted there and I covered there for a quick profit. But I should have held. I wasn't at $8. I should have held all the way down here. So, it is what it is. Well, it would have been up $1 per share on it if I stay patient. but instead I took it for what, 46 bucks. That's I have a lot of small trades that I took for $6 loss and $19 loss. JKS 50, $57 gain. All right, this is the other trade, HCF. This was another one. This is pretty interesting. There was no locates when I was looking for it here. I really wanted to smack this and cover into this. There was no locates. I longed it here, and then I shorted here. Right here, what happened was I was looking at the level 2, and it was a fake hold. I was trying to short it, but I fat fingered it, and I pressed the wrong button, and I covered half. Right? I covered half when I was meant to add double down into this. The reason why I wasn't add, you guys will be able to see the live trade. Yeah, but it happened. We all fat finger it and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I made almost, you know, 270 bucks on it. It should have been, I mean, almost 300 bucks on it. It should have been, you know, a $600, $700 trade on it. But because I took a loss here and I added, you know, it got really choppy after that. So, yeah, so I shorted, covered, I shorted here, right? So this was a long, got out for a quick profit. I shorted here. I was meant to add into this 6 push because of level 2, but I took half, so I took about $150 loss into that. And then it came down, I didn't take it, I added into that, and then I took a little bit of profit right there, and then the last profits were right there. I took half right there. I shouldn't have taken half right there, but I took the last ones right here into this move. And then I shorted here again, and then I took some profit there. Even here, I should have gone a bit more aggressive, and here I should have waited a lot longer because I took it at 420. This thing went to 6. I mean, that's an 80 cents move. Even this was a short, so every pop to this area was a short. But again, this is why once you have located for a stock and it's a short, you gotta keep it on your radar. That's why I usually do put them on the side monitor. I have like 6 monitors, so I put it on one of the side ones, and I'll keep an eye on them. If they pop into that, I'm sure. Usually, if I'm into another trade, that's when I don't really touch them. All right, so I made about what almost 300 bucks into that, and then JKS, I lost 300. JKS, I got back in it again. I lost another $100. Phew, I know. PHSF, I got back in again, which is this trade right here. I made $159. I traded Apple a couple of times, 69. The last trade, I mean, I have a lot of small trades, as you guys can see. Let's look at it. Today was, I mean, I traded a lot of stocks. I shouldn't have done that. I should have, you know, it was definitely a wrong way of trading, to just go in and out and touch everything that moves. I should have stuck with, you know, my own strategy. This thing, so I shorted, covered, it popped again, I added, covered, and covered here. And then I tried to, I'm pretty sure I bought this and sold that. So, you know, chop, nothing much. I mean, I wanted to short that, but I took my last cover right there. Should have waited again, because my average was, what was my average? The first short was at 440. The second short was at 430. So, you know, this was the 430 short again. So, you know, if I waited, this would have given me, what, $1 something. And I'm pretty sure I was in a 600 or 1,200 shares. So either way, it would have been either $600 or $1,200 trade, whereas I took it for 59. So that's, I mean, I've been trying to work on this to hold longer, because clearly in a lot of the stocks, it's just, that's what it's doing. The last one that I traded was ISIG. So I traded it. I went into short. I added into that. I only went in 600 trade. I wanted to push. I wanted this to go keep parabolic because I wanted to add. I was only in 600 shares, and I had located. I mean, I need to find this, but I had located about 1,200 shares. But you know, I wanted to keep going so I can add, but it didn't give me the add. I just took the profit with 200. Even with this one, I mean, I took it here at 120. This came all the way to 93. So, you know, with 600 shares, that would have been, you know, 30 cents, 40 cents gain would have been nice. Into this, this was choppy here. Gave a great opportunity. I shorted here, took a little half here, shorted. I add, took some there. I added here. I think my average was, if you guys can see here, my average was at $2, not this one. Yep, around $2.10, which is somewhere down here, $2.10, with 1,200 shares. right? So and I covered it right there. But because of this cuts that I had, I only got out for you know, $7 loss because I took a loss as it was going up. I got in early, so I should have checked the time because usually they push pre-market market close before they fall out. But I didn't check. I wasn't looking at the time. I shorted it here. Went into hold. I was hoping it would open before the hold and it would wash out, but it opened just after the hold and it pushed up. Um, so yeah, because what happens is just after the market close, a lot of algos would you know, shut off and or reset or something like that. So anyway, yeah, should have held. That would have been a nice what, $500 $600 gain. Only made what, combine this to $4 on it. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know that was a bit of a long explanation of today's trade, but as you guys can see, I traded a lot of stocks. Sure to do that. That's what I need to work with tomorrow. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to trade with me, I have a free Discord. I'll put the link down below. Make sure you pop into the chat room. Talk to me. I'll always be sharing my trading ideas when I go in, when I go out. And not only me, there's a lot of good traders in the room as well, and they also share their ideas and what they're looking at. That could be helpful to you. And if you're a good trader, you can contribute something as well. And if you're new and want to learn, that's pretty good as well. Come to us. You know, it'll be pretty good to have you. Anyway, I'll put the link down below. Make sure you like and subscribe this for my channel, so I will be able to put out more educational materials. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the live trading video. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, guys, welcome to the live trading part of this video. As you guys can see, market is about to open, and I just got into TGC 300 shares. Now, the idea of this thing is similar. If you guys have seen yesterday's trading recap video, I was explaining if something is, you know, the highest gapper on the day, a lot of chart rooms are watching it, and if the stock pulls back all the way to a support level, pre-market support level, which in this case is this area right here, the 280, you can buy it using that as a risk. So, and what I was looking for here is a push out of the gate to the VWAP area and higher. That's what I'm looking at. So if it opens, it looks weak, and it's about to go to a downside hold, then you cut it. Your risk level is tied to the support level, and you cut it quick. Now, as you guys can see, I am up $100 on it. Exactly what I was looking for. I took some here and I took some here. So market open, I added as well. So now I'm trying to buy this dip because I'm trying to buy this dip and no fill, so I took it off quickly. It's going up higher. So I'm looking for, I was looking for a push, but I'm not. It looks very, it looks like it's hesitating to me. So I got out completely with for $79 profits. But now it's looking a little bit stronger, and I'm pretty sure people are chasing it here. It's really hesitating right now. It's indecisive. That's why I got out. But I should have held. As you guys can see, it popped all the way to 360, 380 right now. So I would have been up $1 per share on this thing. So I would have been up $300 on it, right? So what I should have done here, the best thing to do here was to wait for my support level, my risk level to break, right? But I got too greedy. But as you guys can see, it's rejecting that high. If I was a short seller, I would have. Now I'm actually trying to locate to short this into this pre-market high rejection, but no locates, and it's going without me. So I was actually, as soon as I got out, I saw that push, the pre-market high area. I was trying to locate it. I couldn't find any locates. As you guys can see, it flipped into a downside hole. So fast forward here, I just got into JKS. Now here's the biggest problem. I have been trying to avoid JKS for a long time. Even though I made money on it, so I'm up $220 on it. I made a quick $160. I shouldn't have touched it because I kept telling myself I'm not going to trade this anymore. I'm not going to trade this anymore, and I kept going back at it, back into the whale again. I can't be doing that. All right, fast forward. Let's see. So this thing is back now. I'm looking at it. I am thinking if it breaks, if it comes up like this, if it breaks the pre-market high, it could go higher. But I also know as a short seller, this is where I come in, the pre-market high, and there was no locates on this, so I couldn't short it. So I'm thinking if I'm not going to short it, I'll see if I can scalp some longs on it. So I got up into, I bought this into a hold, thinking it would go into a hold and go higher. But as you guys can see, it was a fake hold. So they were selling into the hold. So that was one cue for me to get out of this trade. But I'm giving it a little bit of time. Look, as you guys can see right here, look at this. This is not what you see. This is they're selling into the hold. They're selling into the hold. That is an indication this is going to be a fake hold, and they have another agenda. They're going to reverse this thing, right? When you see that kind of fake hold into a downside or upside, what you usually want to see is you want the numbers to get bigger and build up. But right now, as a short seller, I would want to go in. As a long seller, I'm feeling very uncomfortable and I want to get out. As you guys can see, just above, so I'm getting out. Just above it, just before it halts, they sell a massive amount of shares. If you guys, go back and watch it, the time and sales, the tape reading, you could see a lot of red prints going through just before it halts, right? That's them, this is above pre-market high. People trying to buy. I got out, by the way, for a little bit of profit. And straight into, into a downside hold. So I avoided that. Just by knowing where to short, you'll be able to, get out alive with your long positions. Wow, that is a massive, $1 drop right now. $1 drop, right? Wow, into a downside hold right there at 219 area. So when it downside holds, what you want to see is, as you guys can see the numbers, how thick they are. This is how you want to see it. So no one is buying this thing. But if you guys go back and look at it just before it got into an upside hold, you would want to see this numbers on this side. But what was happening was they were selling into them. So they weren't as thick. So that's a sign for you to, not hold this. So that's one lesson for today. Let's keep forward a little bit here. All right, so I'm looking at this thing run into a hold. I was trying to locate some shares for this. There was no locates for it, which is pretty shit. As you guys can see, I'm up $300 on a day. But yeah, so it opened. This is where I would have hit it into a short, and I would have covered some into this. So as soon as it opened and I see weakness, I would have hit it, and then I would have covered here. So that would have been what, almost a 70 cents per share profit. You hit it with 600 shares, then that's a decent amount of profit right there. So now I actually, once it went to a downside hold, people covered and I found some locates. So now I located 1,000 shares. So I'm looking at it. It looks like it's about to go into a downside hold. So I'm locating this thing at the moment. So it would have been a perfect. So I got into a long position here for a bounce, and I'm trying to sell it at the highs, but it's really not feeling me. So the reason why I longed it here is because of the VWAP, and it looked like it was gonna hold downside, but they faked it. So I got out quick for $12 profits. Hindsight is 2020. I should have held a little bit longer. As you guys can see, it went down. Now it's coming back up, and I have found some locates. They're gonna run it up into a hold. As you guys can see, when it goes into a hold, this is what I'm talking about. You want to see the numbers building up like this. If someone is selling into it, you would see this numbers thinning out. But right now, they're building up, they're not thinning out. So if they were thinning out, then it means it's going to reverse. Not always, but generally it means someone is selling. Usually what they do is they wait for a pre-market high break and they unload into those massive amount of shares. So I got shorts for this now. It looks like, as you guys can see right here, it's indicating it's going to open out of the hold. It's going to open at 575, which is a little bit above the high right here. So I'm pretty excited because I got 1,000 shares to short it. So if you guys want to learn, the one lesson from today is when stuff, when stuff rejects from a hold, right? Hold rejections. When a fake hold happens, that's how you spot them. Are they selling into the hold? Now this opened, I hit it right here. I wanted to add into this pop. I should have added into this pop, but now look, pay attention to this hold. Pay attention. The holds, they're thinning out. They're building up right now, but look at the time and sales. Look at this right here. It's thinning out, right? Look, they're thinning out. They're not holding. They're not letting hold. Thinned out. Boom. That was an ad. But instead adding, what did I do? I covered. I did the completely opposite thing. And now I am only up $200 on the day. I gave back a little bit of profit. You see, that was a fake hold into that. So that thinning out, that was the action. So one lesson from today, even for me, to focus into that more, right? Forget about the chart. Look at the time and sales. This is where your eyes should be. So when I saw that, on hold and thinning out, I shouldn't be covering. I should be adding. I pressed completely the wrong button, right? I pressed the wrong button. I should have been, adding, but, it happens. We all screw up every now and then. Anyway, I'm still in 150 shares. I'm up, almost 300 bucks per day. Fast forward here. Now it's popping up. I added into that. I'm looking at the weaknesses, level 2. I'm focusing on level 2. It's going into downside hold. I covered some here. This puts me up 400 bucks. Now to downside hold. Do you see this numbers piling up? You wanna see this. When this is start thinning out, then you gotta have a decision whether to add or cut. Right. Fast forward here. Let it open. So that's how you spot halt rejections, right? Fake halts. So you guys can see, I'm up nicely. Well, 500 bucks. So I'm only holding 100 shares here. Looks like it's going into a downside hold. I'm looking at the holds. They're buying into this, as you guys can see, a lot of green prints are going through. They're buying into this holds, but the numbers are not thinning out. I'm still holding 100 shares. Fast forward here, opened, and I'm out of it. I'm out of it, and I am up 600 bucks. So I made back what I lost on JKS, but it was pretty quick to lose on JKS. That's why, I was telling myself I'm not going to trade it. I'm not going to trade it over and over again for so many times, but I kept going back at it. So I need to really fix that and not touch something if I say I'm not going to touch it. All right, fast forward here a little bit. JKS here, I got in. Again, 300 shares. Look at that. Just like that. I'm down 200 bucks. I don't know why I kept going into this thing. I am down $350 on this thing right now. And I just took a $330 loss on that. Now I am up only, what, 200 bucks. I was up 600, now I'm up 200. So I traded a couple of times, as you guys can see. This is the third time I'm touching this thing. So pretty frustrating. Really frustrated. So now I am saying I'm an idiot. Why am I touching this? I should never ever touch JKS again. Anyway, fast forward here. The next trade was this thing here. IG, as you guys can see, I'm already in 600 shares, and I want this thing to go higher so I can add. I want to add into this. I want to add into this. As you guys can see, I'm up already. Made a little bit of the money back. So I'm up 500 bucks, almost 600 bucks. So I'm taking a little bit of profit here. This is what you want to see. Downside hold. You see these numbers? Again, I know I kept saying it over and over again, but if you understand how this works, it's something that you can use, forever in terms of trading. Okay. So got out of the hold. I have my fantasy order sitting at the VWAP. It's not feeling me, but I want it to come to me. I'm trying to cover 400 shares here. I'm waiting for it to come in. I'm not chasing it. I'm not going up there. I'm waiting for it to come and feel me. Now I'm out. It took me out the 400 shares. I'm only holding 200 shares. Hence that is 2020. I should have, held. But the main reason is I didn't get my ad. I wanted up to, 1,200, 2,000 shares into this thing. But I only managed to get into 600. It didn't push out of the hold. I was hoping it would push so I can add. But it didn't give me the push, and that's that. That's how sometimes it goes. Not all trades are going to be, full size maximum profit. So the last 100 shares, I'm trying to take it out here at $1.11. And I am out. I'm up $761. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Again, like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up, and make sure you comment down below if you have any questions or even like good trades or something I can improve on, especially on JKS. I need that talk. Thanks for watching, guys.